Conference out of the way, how do you feel like the first 3 games went for you guys as O-line?
We ran the ball well in the first 3 games, but we felt like we could have put more on tape. I think overall as an offense, we feel like we missed. Last week, we felt like we could have put up more points. I think Sam should have threw for more yards. I think we should have rushed for a little bit more. They ran some games, and we would have picked that up a little bit earlier on. I feel like we did at the end. You saw Relik's big run. I feel like we could have had a couple more of those, but it felt good to finally get that big run. I don't know if we've had that in a pretty long time here. Stat had a few, but you know.
You feel like that glass half full mentality is something that's kind of reflected throughout the whole team?
No, I just think that a whole bunch of guys have a chip on their shoulders, so I think we look forward to getting a lot better. We still don't like the product that we put on the field the first 3 weeks. We feel like the last, even going back to last year, I feel like our first 3 weeks, we're just a little more dominant than we did. And games kind of resemble Texas State, Mississippi State. Those games were kind of similar as last year, but I think we're definitely more advanced, and we've definitely proved we can run the ball. But I think we want to continue that because we want to be able to put more yards on the field, allow Sam, give him some better protection so he can go ahead and air it out some more.
How do you feel like the overall communication has been, not even with the whole O-line, but with you and Sam's cadence?
Sam and I have been fine. Some of you worked through. Mississippi State was a super loud game. We give credit to them, but super good. We have a really good relationship off the field, and I feel like that's what helps. You guys have a good bond off the field, helps out on the field. So we spend a lot of time together, just hanging out. Even out here, we spend a lot of time together, messing around, but also staying focused, making sure we're on the same cadence, on the same wavelength.
How do you feel like that first road game was for you in terms of just pre-snap checks, communications, all that stuff?
Our communication was actually really well that game. There really wasn't too many MAs. We were on the same page. So I look forward to really just building on that. But we did a really good job as far as the communication, as far as our missed assignments. We were actually in the right spot. We felt like early on we should have got to some better runs so we could go ahead and open up like we did in the second half. Just get back to more basic things. But as far as communication on the road, we were actually really good.
Kenny said yesterday that Baylor's front six, they'll drop 2 back, kind of get a bunch of different pass rushes going. Do you feel like the defenses that you played against in the non-conference kind of helped you prepare for that a little bit?
I don't know if it helped you prepare because every team is different. Every single player you play is different. They have different moves, they have different strengths, and they have also different weaknesses. So I think it goes back to going back to the film room and studying, make sure that we're all on the same page. It's all really pass pro is. You see guys get beat one-on-one, but it's a lot of time. I always talk about it. When you have 5 offensive linemen, we're all working together, we're all helping each other. So you got to make sure we're all in the same picture. A lot of times it's not as bad as it seems. You see a guy get beat one-on-one, but wasn't supposed to have inside help on that rep. So we got to make sure our communication is on point, and then we should be just fine.
You mentioned you guys had some little mistakes you want to build on. What do you think are some of those?
I think just pad level footwork. It's more from a technique perspective. We did just fine as far as the communication, but as far as our after the play gets going, there's 2 parts to a play, right? You have before the play and you have during the play, right? So we talk about during the play, make sure that our footwork's a lot better, our pad level. Let's make sure we pass off stuff a little bit more smoother, have a better base as we pass off stunts.
Talked to Skrilla and he said the first road game is always a big test. How do you feel like you guys did that in terms of your progression in this week?
Oh, we failed because we didn't win, but the reality is that we responded, so that was the good plus that we had from it. And so the reality is that you have it, and you can't really teach that. You can't teach fight. So being able to have that fight and show it on the road in a really hostile environment versus a very solid team, I think that was important to show, not just to fans, that's important to show to ourselves, to prove to ourselves, like, hey, until we go down in the game, the game's not over. We'll be just fine.
We've gone into a lot of 12 personnel in the past couple of weeks. How do you feel like those tight ends have really helped bolster the edges for you guys?
Well, I think that's a pro for a lot of offenses. A lot of offenses around the country, they don't use tight ends, or maybe they can't use tight ends. They don't have the personnel. We have a great tight end group. We're close with them as well. They work hard. They have a lot of stuff on their plate, too. Everybody knows tight ends. You got no run game, pass game. So they've been doing really good. They've come along the last 3 weeks. But we look to get them more involved, too, so they can make big-time plays like Shimon did the other day.
Ben, talk about the run game and how it's really come on. I think you've gone over 200 yards rushing each of the last 2 ball games.
I think we need 250. I think that's the reality. We need 250 because just early on, we're not hitting those big-time runs. And sometimes those big-time run, maybe 20, 30 yards. We'll take a 75, 80 every time. But we need those explosive plays happening in the run game because the reality is, as we establish the run game, we have some weapons. We got Sam, JT, and a whole group of guys, and then we can throw it out the backfield. So if we run it and can pass it and we can throw screens, how are you going to stop us? You're trying to guess all the time. So we want to be able to control that, be able to control the game as an offensive line.
How much does it help having such a good running game? Then you can kind of dive back into the play actions and the delayed screens and things like that because they're playing the run so heavy.
I think that makes it easier as us on the offensive line. You think we're running inside zone and JT's running the fade ball. You know what I'm saying? Or you think it's full play action, 7-man pro play action. You think you're running outside zone. So I think it makes it easier as us as an offensive lineman. You want to make your job easier? Okay, do the hard work first, run the ball, and it'll be a lot easier. Go play action, everybody protect, everybody's aligned. You see a big old wall, and then Sam go ahead and take his shots.
Do you sense a little more intensity this week with Big 12 play now starting this weekend?
I think naturally you should have it. I don't know if anything has changed. I think our focus has always been week to week. It's just the next opponent, nameless faces. It's just now there's stuff on the line, right? We had a loss to Mississippi State. That technically did not matter. You talk about the grand scheme of things, yes, but it technically did not matter as far as conference play. So you've got to get riled up to go play a conference opponent, especially that we haven't played yet in this conference. I don't know what to tell you.
What kind of challenges does the Baylor defense present when you guys kind of look at the film coming up here?
Yeah, they hold their call, done a little bit late. They move slight things, so it's just about communication. They make those adjustments. They prey on, of course, the center making the wrong adjustments, as well as the quarterback. Whether it be in the pass and run game, making his checks. So we got to make sure that center and the quarterback are on the same page. We'll be on the same page. I'll get the guys in the front right. He'll get those guys in the back right, and we'll be just fine.
Kind of looking at the schedule here, not only is conference play starting, but 2 of the next 4 ranked opponents. Baylor's beat some good teams, TCU's beat some good teams. Does it kind of feel like the wake-up call was there to kind of be ready for these next 4 opponents being some of the harder opponents we'll play all year?
I think it's kind of similar to last year, right? We had all these opponents that we were supposed to go play. They were supposed to be better than us. So if they're ranked higher than us, they're supposed to be better than us, I think we'll see. The reality is we're focused on 1 week at a time. If we can get a win this week, then we'll focus on whoever we play next week.